Have you ever stopped to think about what really drives a narcissistic person's behavior? Is it just a matter of personality, or is there something darker hidden beneath the surface? Let's lift the veil and see beyond the facade. When we talk about narcissism, it's common to focus on the most visible aspects: the obsession with oneself, the manipulation, the need for greatness. However, there is a deeper, almost dark force that fuels these behaviors. What if I told you that there are spiritual influences that sustain this toxic cycle? People with narcissistic tendencies are not just individuals with a distorted view of themselves. Often, they are guided by hidden forces, destructive energies that not only control their actions, but also affect everyone around them. These forces, which we can call dark influences, are not just abstract ideas. They are powerful and harmful energies that promote chaos and suffering. From the presence of lies that distort reality to the fear that traps victims in a constant state of anxiety and insecurity, these forces feed on confusion, disorder, and pain. In this message, we will explore in depth the spiritual energies that work behind narcissism, revealing the depths of its impact. We will discover how these influences shape a narcissist's controlling and destructive behavior, as well as understand their true motivations. Hurting others without showing remorse is a hallmark of those who operate under these dark influences. If you have ever found yourself trapped in the web of a narcissist, understanding these forces may be the key to escaping their grip. Stay tuned, because we are about to reveal what really hides behind the narcissistic mask. Have you ever heard of the influence of the spirit of manipulation? It is one of the most devious and destructive forces in human relationships. It acts silently, often unnoticed, until its effects have already caused deep and lasting damage. This malicious energy thrives on exploiting people's weaknesses to obtain personal benefits. It takes advantage of other people's emotions, insecurities, and desires, bending the will of others to suit the manipulator's goals. At the heart of manipulation is the uncontrollable desire to exert power over others. They don't just seek a momentary advantage. Their goal is to dominate minds and control actions. They skillfully manipulate situations to ensure that they always have the upper hand. They set up carefully orchestrated traps and conflicts to make others feel powerless or dependent. This manipulation is calculated to keep their victims under control, ensuring that every move serves their purposes. One of the most dangerous weapons in the manipulator's arsenal is charm. They have an uncanny ability to make those around them feel valued, loved, and connected. However, this charm is merely a tool for control and deception. With smooth words and persuasive tactics, they hide their true intentions, making it difficult for others to see what is really going on. It is easy to be taken in by this facade, as they know how to appeal to emotions, offering promises of support or affection that ultimately serve only their own needs. Manipulation is not about brute force, but about subtlety and deception. Under this influence, victims often feel confused, insecure, and emotionally drained, unaware of the control gradually building around them. Another toxic force that governs dysfunctional relationships is the spirit of exploitation. Those under its influence view every connection as a transaction, not a genuine bond. To them, people are not individuals with their own needs and emotions, but rather tools to achieve their goals, fulfill desires, or feed fantasies. Relationships, for those guided by this force, exist solely to satisfy their needs, be they emotional validation, financial gain, or social status. At the heart of the spirit of exploitation is the ability to suck as much as possible out of the people around them, draining them of their energy, resources, and even their self-esteem. These individuals do not care about the well-being of others, only what they can get from them. This spirit is cunning and rarely reveals itself right away. It creeps in slowly, as the narcissist convinces his victims that his own needs must always come first. The more they exploit, the more they dehumanize, reducing those around them to mere instruments. This influence steals time, energy, and peace, leaving a trail of emotionally drained and fragmented people. Recognizing this force is essential to protecting yourself and escaping a cycle of abuse. Another insidious force is the spirit of deception, which operates by masking true intentions behind a carefully constructed persona. These individuals often present themselves as the perfect partner, friend, or colleague, but behind this facade lies a calculated agenda. The narcissist uses deception as a tool to manipulate and control. They know that by creating the illusion of care, they can lower their victims' defenses. This deceptively gentle facade allows them to gain trust and access to others' vulnerabilities. The deception, however, is not random. It is intentional, designed to trap people in a web of lies and emotional dependence. With deceptive charm, the narcissist makes his victims doubt their instincts and judgments, distorting reality to fit his narrative. This manipulation creates confusion, making it difficult for victims to see the truth. In addition to directly harming targets, the spirit of deception also erodes trust, creates chaos in relationships, and isolates victims from their support networks. Isolation deepens the narcissist's control, who convinces his victim that only he truly understands or cares about them. Recognizing the action of this spirit is the first step to breaking the cycle and regaining emotional freedom. Understanding that the care and empathy shown by narcissists are merely illusions is an essential step for victims to reclaim their reality, rebuild their self-confidence, and escape the toxic cycle of manipulation. Now, let's talk about the spirit of revenge. This is a powerful and destructive force that often operates within a narcissist, driving their need for retribution. Unlike emotionally healthy people who can forgive or move on after a conflict, a narcissist sees any criticism, no matter how small, as a personal attack on their fragile superiority. This spirit makes narcissists hypersensitive to criticism, rejection, or disagreement. It feeds on grudges, ensuring that these people never forget or forgive, allowing resentment to build until they find the perfect opportunity to retaliate. However, their vengeful actions are rarely impulsive, are coldly calculated, designed to cause maximum impact and suffering to their targets. A narcissist driven by the spirit of revenge may spread lies, destroy relationships, or manipulate situations to humiliate and harm those they consider to have caused them harm. The most alarming aspect of this dynamic is the pleasure they find in inflicting pain. For them, revenge is not just a way to settle the score, but to reassert their control by punishing those who dare to defy them. This vengeful behavior, however, often blinds them to the long-term consequences. Their actions leave a trail of destruction that affects relationships, reputations, and even their own lives. The spirit of revenge not only harms its victims, but also erodes what little humanity they have left, leaving only chaos and bitterness. Another deeply ingrained trait of narcissism is the spirit of superiority. This force makes the narcissist believe that he or she is inherently deserving of special attention, unique privileges, and absolute loyalty, regardless of his or her merits or actions. This mindset places him or her at the center of the universe, where all other people exist solely to serve his or her wants and needs. The spirit of superiority manifests itself in their constant demand for attention and validation. They expect others to indulge their whims without hesitation and feel justified in demanding more than they give. They often manipulate or guilt others to ensure that their expectations are met. In the narcissist's view, the rules that apply to others simply do not apply to them. They believe themselves to be an exception, a superior class. However, this sense of entitlement is accompanied by a profound disregard for the needs, feelings, and rights of others. The narcissist does not hesitate to discard anyone who challenges their authority or fails to meet their expectations. They often label these relationships as meaningless or worthless, treating people in a transactional manner. To them, others are tools designed to satisfy their desires for power, admiration, and control. This destructive stance leaves their victims feeling used, devalued, and emotionally drained, while their worth is continually diminished in the narcissist's relentless pursuit of superiority. Recognizing the impact of this sense of entitlement is essential to freeing oneself from its influence. By setting clear boundaries and understanding the power this behavior wields, victims can begin to reclaim their own sense of worth and autonomy. Another insidious aspect of narcissistic behavior is the spirit of isolation. This force works subtly, encouraging the narcissist to alienate their victims from people who could offer support, love, and perspective. Isolation may initially look like care or concern, with the narcissist criticizing friends or family, suggesting that they do not have the victim's best interests at heart. Over time, this tactic escalates, discouraging or even prohibiting outside connections. This strengthens the narcissist's control, making them the only source of validation and influence in the victim's life. By isolating the person, they weaken their support systems, making it harder for them to seek help or a reality check. Isolation is not only physical, but also emotional, breaking bonds and breaking the victim's trust in themselves. Recognizing this influence is the first step to freedom. If you find yourself increasingly disconnected from the people you love, question who is encouraging this distance and why. Rebuilding genuine connections is essential to regaining your independence and overcoming this control. Finally, the spirit of dehumanization is one of the most devastating forces in narcissistic behavior. This energy destroys the dignity and humanity of others, reducing them to mere objects that serve the narcissist's insatiable need for power and control. Dehumanization is deliberate and calculated, allowing the narcissist to treat people as inferior or insignificant. Their emotions, opinions, and worth are often ignored or dismissed. For the narcissist, relationships are not based on mutual respect, but on utility. What can this person do for me? How can I use them to my advantage? The absence of empathy is glaring. This lack of emotional connection allows the narcissist to exploit, manipulate, and inflict harm without feeling guilty. They devalue achievements, dismiss struggles, and make their victims question their own self-worth. This erosion of identity is a powerful tactic. By breaking others down, the narcissist elevates himself. The consequences of this dehumanization are profound, leaving emotional scars, a loss of confidence, and a distorted sense of self. Recognizing this behavior is key to not only surviving a narcissist's influence, but also to reclaiming your dignity. It's about remembering that your worth is not defined by how someone else chooses to treat you. Throughout this article, we've explored the dark forces that drive narcissistic behavior. They go beyond superficial traits and are manifestations of destructive energies that thrive on manipulation and control. From the spirit of deceit to the spirit of dehumanization, these forces rob you of your humanity and leave pain in their wake. But there's one truth you must keep in mind: awareness is your greatest weapon. Understanding these spiritual influences not only protects you, but also frees you from their clutches. It's your chance to reclaim your power, your peace, and your identity. If you've ever been caught in a narcissist storm, remember, you are more than the lies they've told you, more than the fear they've planted, or the pain they've caused. Your strength to overcome, your courage to heal, and your ability to move forward are what truly define who you are. As you reflect on this, ask yourself, are there forces in your life that you need to confront or let go of? Recognizing patterns and taking steps to break them is the path to freedom. If this message resonated with you or brought clarity to your experience, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And remember, the best way to combat darkness is to take a courageous step toward the light. Keep growing, keep healing, and keep moving forward. You can do it.